Alrighty, guys, thanks for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. Welcome back to National Pastime and Next Generation Plus. This is our third game where we're trying the system out. Really enjoying it. You can see I've got a new game for you here. We're going to try and get this done really quickly today as I've got a few things I need to do this afternoon, but I'm going to be headed out. But I've decided to try and get you guys another game so you guys can check this out. This game is happened April 3rd, 2017. It is the Cleveland Indians' first game of the season at the Texas Rangers. We'll look at the starting lineup shortly. Again, we're going to be using the alternate base running from the 2017 where the manager calls all the base running. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I've got all the players already carded out and figured out. So that's good. Of course, we have our bunt charts and our home run charts here available as well. What I've done is I've decided to put the scorecard out here and just use the different boards off the field. So that way you guys, you won't see that. But if there's something important that happens on the card or the board, I'll bring that out for you guys and kind of show you. But hopefully if you watch the last couple episodes, you got a pretty good gist of how things play out, right? So hopefully that's the case anyways. So we have obviously the Cleveland Indians batting and then the Texas Rangers pitching and then the Texas batting and the Cleveland. We have the players that came into the game, the extra pitchers and extra hitters up here at the top, which we'll use these once we get them ready. And of course over here, we'll just put those there, which is the bunt and the hit and run charts. Alrighty, so again, I'm going to use all the different boards. We're just going to keep these off to the left. This way you guys can see the score pad. I know that there was a few mentions of that yesterday, so you guys would like to see the actual scorecard. Alrighty, and I'm going to actually unplug my headphones so my cable isn't dragging across everything all the time. So hopefully it'll be a little bit quieter there. And last but not least, we are going to, what are we going to do last but not least? Oh yes, we're going to show you the park factor here. So the desktop region, nope, the desktop, there we go. So we're in Texas. So this is a park factor of 3. Of course, I'm going to write that down. This is a park factor of 3. So there you go. So make sure you download and print out your park factors as well, because they will come into play as you've seen throughout our game so far. So we can just get rid of that and back to our main screen now. So thanks everyone for showing up. So things of note, right? Yu Darvish is a -1 to steal attempts. You can see the -1 next to his name right there. And then Jonathan Lucroy is actually a +1. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Yu Darvish actually is a -2. So Yu Darvish is a -2. Jonathan Lucroy is a +1, which gives you a total of -1 between those. So the total when you're against Yu Darvish will be a -1 to steal. And then for Corey Kluber is a 0. And the catcher, Yan Gomes, is a +4. So against this combination, it's actually going to be a +4 to steal attempts. So advantage for the Texas Rangers in the steal attempt category. There we go. And I've also have all the players listed as their run rating and then, of course, their stats. And Yan Gomes is a pass ball of 0. Jonathan Lucroy also a pass ball of 0. So if those come up, both catchers are a pass ball of 0. Just for your information. So let's go ahead and give you guys the lineups real quick, and then we'll get things started here. So Cleveland Indians on the road. This is Monday, April 3rd, 2017. Carlos Santana is the DH. He's batting first. Francisco Lindor at short. He's batting second. Michael Brantley in left field. He's batting third. Edward Encarnacion, first base. He's batting fourth. Jose Ramirez, second baseman. He's batting fifth. Yan Gomes is the catcher. He's batting sixth. Tyler Nyquin is the center fielder. He's batting seventh. Yandy Diaz, the third baseman, is batting eighth. And Abraham Almonte, the right fielder, is batting ninth. And, of course, as I mentioned, starting pitcher for your Cleveland Indians, Corey Kluber. The Texas Rangers come out as this. Batting first, Carlos Carlos Gomez, sorry. He's the center fielder. Batting second, Sin So Chu, the DH. Uh, Batting third is Nomar Mazara. He's batting right fielder. Batting fourth is Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Batting fifth, Rugged Odor. He's the second baseman. Batting sixth is Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher. Batting seventh, Joey Gallo, the third baseman. Batting eighth, Elvis Honduras. He's batting eighth, and he's the shortstop. And batting ninth, Jackerson Profar, the left fielder for the Texas Rangers. And as mentioned, Hugh Darvish starts the season off in Texas and starts things off for the Texas Rangers at home. Alrighty, Southpaw, wishing you and your family a great weekend. I agree, Southpaw, and a big shout out to Southpaw for all his help. He's given me a lot of really good information, and he obviously contacted me through the email and given me really good information on some different gaming systems out there. Let me know what he's currently doing, and just kind of sharing his knowledge with me, which is great. So really appreciate Southpaw doing that for us. He's already introduced me to a couple things that I'm going to be bringing to my channel here for you guys. So great job for him. And if you guys out there know of anything and would like me to take a look at it, maybe bring it to my channel, you can email me at idgesturelive@gmail.com, just like Southpaw did, and maybe we'll get that game on the channel as well. So big shout out to Southpaw. Thank you so much for your time and effort on that, and giving me all that information and sharing your knowledge with me. So here we go. We are starting the game off. Hugh Darvish against Carlos Santana, and I think we're ready to go here now. I'm just trying to decide if it's going to be better for me to have the boards over here. Probably, I'm thinking over on this side. That gives me a little bit more room to write down. I am left-handed, so everything, if I had something over here on the left-hand side, it might get in the way. So we'll put the boards over here. Again, if something interesting happens on the boards, or there's, some kind of outcome that we haven't covered so far yet, I'll bring that up. As far as Hugh Darvish versus right-handers, he's a 45, so 45 or less, it'll be an out. He's a Z1. He's also a K5, pretty good strikeout rating, and he has a PHR of 2. He has a wild pitch of 3, no hit pitch, no HP values, and a balk of 2. Versus left-handers, he is a 25, no Z rating, a K6, a PHR of 2 against lefties, and I think that is all. So we'll look at Corey Kluber when he comes up. So Carlos Santana, Hugh Darvish, and away we go. Away we go. Carlos Santana, first bat of the season. Let's see what he does here. That is a 31. 31 is a 14. 14 we know is going to be a walk unless against the switch hitter, he's going to be batting from the left side. If he had a Z result of 3 or 4, it would not be a walk. But in this case, Carlos Santana starts the game off with the walk, and he is on first. So if we were going to apply our steal attempt, Carlos Santana is a 16. We're going to subtract 1 for the pitcher and catcher combination. Again, if you missed the beginning, Hugh Darvish is a -2. Jonathan Lucroy is a +1. You combine those for a -1 result. So instead of a 16, it'd be a 15. So Carlos Santana probably not going anywhere for the Cleveland Indians. But you know what? Cleveland is going to try something here. They're going to try and get the season off on a right start here. We're actually going to hit and run with Francisco Odor. This will actually be our first attempt at a hit and run in the system. So this way I will slow down and show you guys how this works. Hey, Retro Sports Network. Hello, hello, hello. So on your hit and run or your bunt attempts, you're going to have 5 different cards. Each player is rated on either bunting or hit and run. In this case, Francisco Odor is an HR2. Although, HR, the higher the value, the better you are. But we're going to try it. We're going to start the season off for Cleveland here. So we're going to get the HR2 chart, and we're going to put that over him because we don't use his results, we use the HR2. The only thing we look at is Lindor is a hit and run of 2. So we're going to put the hit and run on, try and stay out of the double play and see if Cleveland can get something going here in the first inning against Hugh Darvish. Left-handers rules is southpaw. Yes, sir. Left-hander. So we're going to roll and boom, 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 boom. 1-3. So it's a 13. 13 is a 13. So what we have to do when we do the hit and runs is you get the proper board out. So in this case, hit and run, runner on first. Hit and run, runner on first. Again, you can have you don't need the cards printed out. You could just put your sheet in and just use it from here, whichever way is easier for you. I like the cards because, I like cards. So we're going to look at the hit and run, runner first, and we roll the 13. 13 is fly out, runner holds. It's a fly out to center. So the hit and run doesn't quite work. It is going to be a F8. And we can just move these hit and run cards back over the way. So Lindor pops one up, and no such luck on the hit and run. But there you go. That's a hit and run. Pretty easy once you understand how it's done. Michael Brantley, he's a hit and run too. So, yeah, we're just going to let him just swing away here. We tried something early in the game just to see if we can get Cleveland. Plus, I wanted to get some hit and run and bunts going for you guys to show you how that all works. So Michael Brantley, Hugh Darvish, that is a 41. 41 is a 24. Of course, we have a runner on first, so we have to use the runner on first chart, 24. In this case, it's going to be a ground ball double play, 6-4-3 to end the inning. So that's why we were trying to do the hit and run. 6-4-3, Michael Brantley hits into the 6-4-3, and nothing for Cleveland in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. No score here. So Corey Kluber, let's take a look at his card if you don't mind. So versus right-handers, 54, very good. A lot of outs off of his card. He is also Z3 and a K8. So lots of strikeouts by Corey Kluber against right-handers. He's a PHR of 2. Versus left-handers, he's a 46 or less. So once again, very good stats. He's a Z2, K7, and a PHR of 2. And for wild pitch, he is a 1. HP, he's a 0, and for balk, he is also a 0. So there are your stats for Corey Kluber facing off against Carlos Gomez. I keep the pen and pencil in my left hand and roll dice facts with my right. Actually, a little ambidextrous. I throw a baseball with my right, but a football with my left. Basketball with my left. Wow, that is multi-dexterous, I'll tell you that. So we are back to our regular chart. Bases empty. Carlos Gomez, Corey Kluber, bottom of first. That is a 13. 13 is a 14. 14s are walks unless it's a Z3 or Z4. Versus right-hander, Corey Kluber is a Z3. So that is just going to be 2 balls, and we get a re-roll for Carlos Gomez. That is a 62. 62 is a 42. 42 is a right-hander. It's going to be a 5-3 putout for the first out. That brings up Sin-So Chu for Texas here against Corey Kluber. Sin-So Chu versus Corey Kluber. That is a 62. That is a 14. Once again, against lefties, though, he's only a Z2, so that will be a walk against the left-hander. So both pitchers give up the walk. So we look at the rating here for the steal. He's at 21. Going against Corey Kluber, again, if you just joined us, Corey Kluber is a +0, but Yan Gomes is a +4. So we're going to total those up, get a +4. So actually he would be at 25 or less if he decided to run. But I think Sin-So Chu will stay at first, and we'll just let Nomar Mazara come to the bat and see what he can do. Nomar Mazara, 1 out, runner on first. So of course we use our, again, just make sure every time you do it, you just look at the top of your sheet to make sure you're using the right board. Runner at first board. Nomar Mazara versus Corey Kluber. That is a 54. I'm sorry. Yes, 54. So 54 is a 32. 32 says fly out, runner hold. It's going to be a fly out to right. So that is going to be a P9. So 2 away, runner on first. That brings up Mike Napoli here. Porterhouse is his nickname. How many people knew that his nickname was Porterhouse? Not I. Mike Napoli, Corey Kruber. That's a 23. 23 is a 12. With runner on first at 12 is going to be a double play. We don't need it, but it's going to be a 4-6 put out. And that's going to do it. I guess you could just go 4-3 or 4-6, whichever way you wanted to write it down. It doesn't really matter, but we have no score after 1. We go on to the second. Hugh Darvish comes back out. He'll be facing off against Edward Encarnacion for the Cleveland Indians. Had 554 at-bats. He had 38 home runs, 2 stolen bases, and did not get caught. But he is still just a 12 Raider if he does get on base. So we're in the top of the second. No hits given up by either pitcher at this point, but we do have a walk by each pitcher. Hugh Darvish against Edward Encarnacion. That is a 15. 15 is an 8. 8 is going to be a pitcher check to see if it's a single or an out. So against the right-hander, Hugh Darvish against rights is a 45. So 45 or less, it will be an out. And that is a 1-1. That is going to be an out. So Hugh Darvish, because he has good control against right-handers, 45 or less, that's going to be an out to the shortstop. 6-3 put out. So Edward out. That brings up Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is the third base here for Cleveland. And he had 29 home runs, 17 stolen base. He was caught 5 times, so he will have a shot of going if he gets on. Jose Ramirez, Hugh Darvish. Oh, that one's off the board, but it was a 54. 54 is a 32. Again, we are back to bases empty, 32. Let's see. Hugh Darvish against... He throws right, so Ramirez is going to be batting from the left. From the left-hand side, he's a K6. So K6 or through K9, it will be a strikeout instead of a ground ball out. So K result for Hugh Darvish. 2 away for Yan Gomes. Again, bases empty here in the top of the second inning. Yan Gomes' first plate appearance of the season. He is the catcher for your Cleveland Indians. That's a 25. 25 is a 9. 9 with bases empty. Again, that is going to be a check on the pitcher. Yan Gomes is a righty. Hugh Darvish is a righty. 45 or less. It is a 56, so that will be a hit. First hit of the game for Yan Gomes. That one is going over shortstop, and that's going to land in for a 2-out single. Yan Gomes, no steal attempts, so he will not try the steal. That brings up Tyler Nyquin. What do you guys think of the new setup with this instead of the boards? Do you guys think you understand the boards good enough? Do you like this setup okay? Let me know in the chat. Let's see what happens here. I am going to spend a second just to refresh my web page because it looks like the web page is all kind of goofy for me, so just give me a second here. All right, there we go. So 2 outs, runner on first, no chance of a steal there. But Tyler Nyquin, he's playing center field, normal runner. That's a 15. 15 is an 8. Once again, we're going to the pitcher. Nyquin is a lefty. Lefty. Against lefties, he's only a 25 or less. Otherwise, it will be a... Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong thing. An 8, runner on first. Yep, it's still going to be a pitcher check. It's either going to be hit to the shortstop or it's going to get by the shortstop based on how well Hugh Darvish does here. So 25 or less. It is a 34, so that is going to be a hit. So it's a single line drive to left, runner to second. So moving to second on the hit. And we have back-to-back hits by Cleveland here. 2 on, 2 outs for Yandy Diaz. Yandy Diaz for Cleveland. So now we have a runner on first and second. Make sure we have the proper chart, and away we go. Retro Sports Network says it's fine, the setup. Okay, good, good, good. Glad to hear. Maybe I can scoot it up a little bit for you guys. Again, these players up here at the top are just the extra cards. Most of the action should be down here for you guys, so I'll try and keep it up a little bit higher for you guys. Might help you out a little bit. So 2 outs, and we have a runner at first and second for Yandy Diaz. Hugh Darvish, we got the Y's going, Yandy and you going at it. So which one of you are going to win? 54. 54 is a 32 with runners at first and second. 32 is going to be a range check for the right fielder. We're going to find out whether or not he's going to make the play. So the right fielder for Texas Rangers is Nomar Mazara. He is a 25 R2A2. So he's got a range of 2. So it's a fly out, runners hold. If the runner on second was a G runner, he would move to third, but it's not going to matter because actually K6 to 9 might be a strikeout against a right-hander. Hugh Darvish against a right-hander, K5, so no strikeout. So it will be a fly ball to right, so that will do it in F9. So 2 hits, no runs, no errors. Cleveland strands 2 in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here in Texas. What is the Texas stadium? Trying to remember what they're called. Somebody in the chat, I'm sure, Retro Sports Network or South Pole or somebody out there will know. So we go back to our board here. Base is empty. Corey Kluber comes out in the second. 24 is going to be a 13. 13 we know is our strikeouts unless Corey Kluber is a K1, which he's not. Strikeout of Rugged Odor by Corey Kluber. 1 out. Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher for your Texas Rangers. Looks like I'm dropping a few frame rates here. Globe Life Stadium. Globe Life Stadium. Thank you, Mr. Retro Sports Network. Mr. Amazing himself. Check out his channel, guys. Does a wonderful job. In fact, we just had an interview. He just had me on his channel the other day, and we did a live interview, which was a great time talking with Retro Sports Network. So, Jonathan Lucroy, be sure to check that out. If you don't mind, give it a big thumbs up and let him know what a good job he did. Lucroy versus Kluber, that's a 15. That's an 8. So, once again, we're going to check the pitcher ratings against a right-hander, 54 or less, it will be an out. 42, so that is going to be an out. And that is going to be a pop fly to the right fielder. So an F9 for Jonathan Lucroy. I will say that the designer and developer of this game, National Pastime Next Generation Plus, had emailed me. He watched my first episode, so thank you for him for that. And he did mention there was a couple plays. Everything went well, but there was a couple plays that I actually looked at that were wrong, so I'm just double checking right now just to make sure I don't do anything wrong for you guys. There was a P result once, and instead of looking at the pitcher card, I should have looked at the base runner to see if he was a poor runner instead of the pitcher card. So I apologize for that mess up earlier, but everything went pretty good, pretty smooth. So that was good. We're learning this really well and hopefully teaching you guys how to play as well. So Joey Gallo, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. That's a 52, is a 13, and that will be a strikeout because it's only not a strikeout in a K1, so that will be a K. So 2 strikeouts for Corey Kluber in the second inning. We go to the third, and we have a scoreless ball game here in Globe Life Stadium, Texas. So Abraham Almonte, first at bat against Hugh Darvish here in the third inning. Almonte versus Darvish. 34 is a 31 with bases empty. 31 That's a fly out to center, so a F8, 1 out. That brings up Carlos Santana. Of course, he walked to start off the game. That's a 51. 51 is a 9. We have a runner on nobody. So a 51 is a 9 with no one on. Once again, we're going to find out. We're going to check the batter. I'm sorry, the pitcher. So he's a right-hander. Carlos Santana, of course, since he's a switch hitter, is going to be batting left. So versus lefties, 25 or less. Otherwise, this is going to be a single over short. It's a 26, so just outside the reach of the shortstop is going to be Elvis Honduras. Just outside his glove. Could not snag that one. And Carlos Santana gets a hit. Second hit of the ball game for the Cleveland Indians. And we have a runner on first again. He's only a 16 to run. That brings up Francisco Lindor, who tried a hit and run the first time up. This time I think we're just going to let him swing away with 1 out, 1 on. Of course, we use our board that was runner on first board. Cleveland, Francisco Lindor. 55 is going to be a hit. So Francisco Lindor's get a hit. So we're going to roll on the second column here. Second column. And that is a 66. Francisco Lindor takes one. That one goes, gone. Francisco Lindor with the 2-run home run in the third inning. And that gives the Cleveland Indians a 2-0 lead. Francisco Lindor hit 33 home runs during the season. Hits one in game number 1. Francisco Lindor. Again, if you look at his card here, second column, you're going to read the 1 on the second column. 1s are home runs. Unless the pitcher has a PHR of 4, actually. I should double check. He does only have a PHR of 2. So just to make sure, if the PHR is a 4, which we don't have any of those, so otherwise it will be a home run. So Francisco Lindor puts Cleveland on the board, and the few fans from Cleveland that made the trip down here to Texas are happy, celebrating in the stands. 2-run home run, Francisco Lindor. That brings up Michael Brantley, lefty versus the right-handed Darvish. 36 is a 33. Now we're back to bases empty. 33, bases empty. Against the lefty, he is a K6, 33, so no strikeout. It's going to be a pop-up to second base, so P4 for Brantley, and that brings up Edward Encarnacion, 2 away here now. Base is empty, but Francisco Lindor gives Cleveland the early lead. 53 is a 21. 21 against bases empty is going to be a check. So possible error check. We are looking for 21. We're going to look at the first baseman. First baseman is Mike Napoli. He's a 31 R2. So 31 or less will be an error. And that is a 63, so no error. And so that will be a 3-1 put out as Mike Napoli gets that one. Tried to sneak it down the line, flips it over to Yu Darvish covering first, and that's going to do it. But 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. We go to, that was Edward Encarnacion. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't mess that up again. So we go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Cleveland. Corey Kluber pitching. So far has given up no hits. Corey Kluber through 2. He has walked a man, the only man so far, Sinso Chu. Elvis Honduras comes up against Corey Kluber. That's a 54, and we have bases empty. 54 is a 32. 32, bases empty. Against the right-hander is a K8. That will be a strikeout. K6 to K9 is a strikeout. So a strikeout there by Corey Kluber. That brings in Jefferson Profar. 36. That's a 33. And once again, we're going to check the K rating against the left-hander. That's a K7, and that will be a strikeout this time, as K7 is part of the line. So Profar goes down. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Kluber so far. Can he strike out the side? Carlos Gomez grounded to third his first time up. Corey Kluber, Carlos Gomez, no one on. Uh-oh, that is a 1-1 for Carlos Gomez. Again, the 1-1 and 6-6 are usually your danger zones. 1-1 for Carlos Gomez is only a 5, though. That is interesting. What is a 5? 5 is double over the first base and down the line into the corner. Hustling around first is Carlos Gomez, and that one's going to be a 2-out double for Carlos Gomez. So now we have the runner on second board. Carlos Gomez on. Brings up Sin-So Choo, walked his first time up. So Corey Kluber gives up his first hit here in the third inning. Sin-So Choo did have 22 home runs in 2017. The right fielder looks at a pitch. Here it comes. 52, that's a 27. Runner on second, 27. So we're going to check the third baseman here. Third baseman for Cleveland is Yanni Diaz. He's a 16R1. So we're going to check for an error or an out. So 16 or less does not make many errors. Yanni Diaz, can he get to the ball and throw it on target? It's a 42. It is on target and is an out at first. Unless the pitcher has a K result. Corey Kluber against the lefty is a K7. That is going to be a strikeout, actually, instead of ground ball. So K3, K5, K7, and K9 are strikeouts. So Corey Kluber strikes out the side with the double sandwiched in between. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We go to the 4th, still 2-0 Cleveland. Good pitching there by Corey Kluber propels Cleveland onwards. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts so far. If we look at Yu Darvish, he has 1 strikeout through 3 innings. Jose Ramirez, of course, you remember what happened. He struck out in the second inning. Sorry, almost got overexcited there. Jose Ramirez struck out in the second against Darvish. Let's see what he does this time. That is a 1-3. 1-3 is a 14. That will be a walk unless 14, unless he's a Z3 or Z4. He's a Z5 or Z6, so it doesn't matter against lefty righties. Z3 or Z4. So Ramirez with the walk. He's a 22. We would subtract 1. So it'd be a 21 or less for a steal attempt. I think he's just going to hold up there on first base and let Yan Gomes swing away. Once again, we have the Yan and the U. So which one of you guys are going to win, the Yan or the U? It's kind of like the Sin, like the Chinese Sin and the Qi. You know, which one, is going to win that? It's going to be the Yan or the U. Let's see which one of the guys wins it. It is a 33. That is a hit. So the Yan wins it this time. Now we roll in the second column under the Yan. That's a 34. 34 is a 7. That's going to be with the runner on first. A 7 is going to be a single. Runner moves to third unless they're a P runner. Jose Ramirez is a good runner, so he's not a P runner, so he will move to third on the single. And that's runners at the corners. No one out here in the 4th inning. So runners at the corners, first and third. So we've got to get the first and third chart out. No one out. Defense will play back. They don't want to give up a big inning here. They'll take the out. They'll give up the run here. So Tyler Nyquin, Hugh Darvish, no one out. Runner at first, runner at third. Tyler Nyquin, first time up, he had a single. This is a 33. 33 is an H result. H again stands for hit. So a hit by Tyler Nyquin, that's going to drive in a run. Now we're just going to check and see what kind of hit it's going to be. That is going to be a 32, so that is a 7. First and third, a 7 is a single to left. One run scores, the other one moves to second, so an RBI single. RBI single, and that gives Ramirez goes in. Nyquin with an RBI. And runners at first and second now. So runners at first and second. Make sure we have the proper chart here. Runners at first and second. Cleveland takes a 3-0 lead here. Top of 4. That's Yanni Diaz versus Yu Darvish. So we have the Yanni and Yu. Who's going to win this matchup? Last time it was the Yu that won it as Yanni flew out to right field. Let's see if Yanni can get revenge for that. That's a 55. 55 is an 8 with runners at first and second. We are going to test the pitcher. So right-hander, 45 or less will be an out. So an 8. Yu Darvish, 44. And against right-handers, he's at 45 or less, so it is an out. It's a fly out. Runners hold. It's a pop out to left, so an F7. So this time the U wins instead of the Yanni. Alrighty, that brings up Abraham Almonte. Flew out to center field his first time up, so runners at first and second. Still only one out. Defense again will play back. And that is a 1-2, so that is going to be a 25. Runners at first and second, 2-5. Double play. Runners forced out at second, batter doubled up at first. It's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. Twin killing ends it. 4-6-3. But 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. Cleveland scores again. That brings it up to 3-0 Cleveland here in Texas. Corey Kluber pitching a hell of a game so far for the Indians. So Corey Kluber against Nomar Mazara. The big chili is up. Speaking of big chili, I'm hungry. Nomar Mazara, Corey Kluber, bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 15. That's an 8. We're going to go back to our bases empty chart, and 8 is either an out or an hit. So we're going to look at Corey Kluber versus lefties, 46 or less. 46 or less, it will be an out. But that is a 63. That one's going to fall in there. It's going to be a single into left center field. So Nomar Mazara gets a hit. He is a 36. And again, against Corey Kluber and Yan Gomes, it's going to be a +4. So Mazara, he's going to try the steal attempt. So 36 +4. It's going to be 41, 42, 43, 44. It's 44 or less. Nomar Mazara takes off on the pitch. That is a 1-6, so he's in there, stolen base. So moves to second now. So runner on second chart. Brings up Mike Napoli. Mike Porterhouse Napoli. Against Corey Kluber, runner at second. No one out. Here in the bottom of the 4th. Ooh, 65 is a 35. So 35 is foul out. Runner holds. If he's a right-hander, which Napoli is, it's a pop-up to first. Unless the pitcher has a W rating. Kluber does not. So it's going to be a pop-up to first. P3 for the first out. No advancement for the runner. That brings up Rugged Adore, struck out in the 2nd inning. Rugged Adore, 46. That's a 29. 29 is, this is what I messed up on last time. So we're going to look at the P, and I thought that meant the pitcher, but that is not the pitcher. We're going to look at the runner to see if the runner is a poor runner. Actually, let me just double check this. No, it is. This one is actually on the pitcher, I believe. Yeah, because we're going to check his error and his out rating. It's either going to be an error on the pitcher or out at first. So yeah, this one will be. So just remember, not every P stands for pitcher because P also stands for poor runner. So just keep that in mind, guys. Here's one of the ones right here, which is a P result, and you might think that that is actually a pitcher. Pitcher throws wide to second. No, this one is also a pitcher result. Okay. But in anyways, just keep that in mind, guys. If you're playing this, when you're looking at the charts, make sure the P result, in this case, is the pitcher. Just make sure it doesn't stand for a poor runner. Okay, guys. All right. So we have runner on second. We're going to be checking the pitcher, Corey Kluber. Bum 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 bum. He's a 14 R2, so doesn't make many errors. So 14 or less will be an error on Corey Kluber. Otherwise, it will be an out. It is a 31, so no error on the 29. So out at first, runner moves to third, unless against he has a K6 through 9, which would be a strikeout instead. And Corey Kluber against a lefty is a K7, so that is a strikeout. So Corey Kluber's stats once again come in to help the Cleveland Indians. Otherwise, it would have been ground ball, and the runner would have moved to third. So that one took us a little while, but sometimes you got to go through the charts, figure them out, and once the next time we come across that result, it'll be much quicker next time. So two away here, still Mazzaro on second, looking for a hit for Texas. Jonathan Lucroy against Corey Kluber. 6-6. 6-6 for Jonathan Lucroy isn't hit, so that will be a hit. Now, what kind of hit is it? Jonathan Lucroy hit 4 home runs during the regular season. Can he get home run number 1 in game number 1? 65 is an 8, so that is B. Runner on second, 8 is going to be a single. Runner moves to third unless they're a G runner. The G runner will score. No, I am sorry. There are 2 outs, so again, always remember, look through the line and make sure if it's a star, that means if there's 2 outs, so the runner does score if there's 2 outs. So runner, and there is 2 outs, so the runner will score on the single over second. So Jonathan Lucroy gets the RBI on the single. Coming around to score is Nomar Mazara. RBI Jonathan Lucroy, and they cut into the lead. It's now 3-1. That brings up Joey Gallo, and of course we have runner on first now, so we've got to make sure we have the right board. And Joey Gallo struck out in the second inning. That is a 1-5. That is a 10. Runner on first, 10 is a single to left field. Runner moves to third, then steals second on the first pitch, which we ignore because we're doing our own. So single to left, runner moves to third. So moving to third will be Jonathan Lucroy, and Joey Gallo gets a single. So 2 men on, runners on the corners, and a little chink in the armor against Corey Kluber's pitched a great game, running into a little bit of trouble here in the 4th inning. Runners on the corners for Elvis Andrus. Andrus struck out in the 3rd inning. As a 1-3, it's a 14. Unless he's a Z3 or Z4, he is not against the right-hander. Corey Kluber is a Z3, so that's 2 balls. We get another swing at it. That's a 1-1. Maybe he should have just given him the walk. 1-1 is going to be a 6. A 6 is going to be a double to deep left center field. Both runners are going to score. If the park factor is a PF4, we are in a PF3, remember. And the batter hits at least 1 home run, he's going to score it as a PRN 5. But nope, it's not a park factor 4, so we don't have to worry about any of that. So it's a deep ball. So Elvis Andúrez gets it off the base of the wall in deep left center. Both runs score. We got us a tie ball game on the double by Elvis Andúrez. And the double, both runners come in to score. It is now a 3-3 ball game here as the Texas Rangers strike for 3 quick runs off of Corey Kluber. Jefferson Profar is up. He struck out in the 3rd inning. He will be the 6th batter. And now we have a runner on second, so make sure we have the runner on second chart. Jefferson Profar, and 44 is a 9. Once again, we're going to test the pitcher to find out if it's a hit or not. Runner on second. So Kluber against the Profar is a switch hitter. Kluber throws right, so he's going to bat from the left side. So versus lefties, 46 or less will be an out, and he'll get out of the inning. But it's not. It's a 63. That will be a hit. It's single through short. Runners to third. Unless he's a good runner, he will score. Elvis Andúrez is a good runner, so coming around to score will be Andúrez on the single by Profar. And the Texas Rangers have taken the lead here, and that will be an RBI. And 2 by Elvis Andúrez. Is now a 4-3 ball game. Runner on first. Profar. Let's look at Profar stealing. He is a 36 against Corey Kluber. Going to add 4. He's going to go on the pitch. He's going to try and push this inning farther for Texas. He's going for it. 36 plus 4, so 36. 41, 42, 43, 44. So 44 or less, he's in there. Oh, thrown out. It's a 60, and that was on the side, but it doesn't matter. 65 as throwing him out, Yan Gomes on the caught stealing. Unfortunately, that's going to do it. But that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 4 runs on 5 hits. And Texas takes a 4-3 lead going into the 5th inning. Wow. Good inning for the Texas Rangers. If you're a Texas Ranger fan, that was a good inning. And that is very good against Corey Kluber. You saw how well he's been pitching up to that point. All right, that brings back up Carlos Santana. In the top of the 5th, Cleveland now down a run. He is 1 for 1 and also a walk, so he's been on both times. 35 is a 22, and of course we're back to bases empty, 2-2. We're going to be checking a position. This time we're going to be checking the catcher for the error. Catcher is Jonathan Lucroy. He is an 11. Does not make any errors. That's why Texas went out and got him. Only an 11 will be an error, and it's a 32, so no error. So that's going to be a 2-3 putout. Where are we? We are in the 5th inning, 2-3 putout. Good play by Jonathan Lucroy. Throws that one on target. Wrong one. Almost flipped the wrong batter there. Let's get the right going here. Carlos Santana. That brings up Francisco Lindor. If you just joining us in the 3rd inning with Carlos Santana on first, Francisco Lindor with his first of the season going over the left field wall. Francisco Lindor, 2-run home run to give Cleveland a 2-0 lead. That is a 65. 65 is a 35. Base is empty, and he is going to be a left-hander. So versus lefties, he's going to pop up. Unless he's got a W rating, he does not. So it's a pop up to third. P5. And Michael Brantley, he popped up to second in the third inning. That's a 51. 51 is an 8. That could be trouble. We're going to check the against lefties, 25 or less. It will be an out. Otherwise, it will be a single to left center field. Oh, he gets it. So Darvish gets a lucky roll. It's a 1-2. He's a 25, so it will be the out. And it's going to be a pop-up to short because there are 2 away. So that's going to be a P6. So it's a 1-2-3 inning as Hugh Darvish, inspired by his mates getting 4 runs, gets Cleveland to go 1-2-3 in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Kluber back out, still pitching well. Carlos Gomez, Corey Kluber. 36 is a 13. We know 13s are strikeouts. So Corey Kluber against Carlos Gomez strikes him out. Sin-So Choo. 64 is a 13. Guess what? Back-to-back strikeouts as Corey Kluber says, I will have none of this 4 runs on 4 hits crap. 2 strikeouts. Mazzaro started things off in the 4th inning with the single. Let's see what he does here in the 5th inning. That's a 16-28. Bases empty, 2-8. And lefty is a K7. That's going to be a strikeout. So Corey Kluber comes back in the 5th. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Not a bad inning of pitching there by Corey Kluber, and that's going to do it for Texas. We go to the 6th inning. 4-3 Texas. Good game so far. Edward Encarnacion. He is 0 for 2 in the day. Hugh Darvish, 35 is a 23. And this time, possible error on the pitcher. Possible error on the pitcher. So Hugh Darvish is a 21. So 21 or less will be an error. It's 46, no error. That's going to be a 1-3 put out. 1-3, and Edward Encarnacion goes to 0-3 on the day. Not a great way to start your season off there, Edward. Jose Ramirez, strikeout and a walk so far for Ramirez. Yep, I am doing that slightly. I don't have that chart printed out. So Southpaw says, when playing solitaire, I like to use the stamina rating, which provides an objective approach to how many batters each pitcher may face until a change is required. That is true. Yep, I'm kind of just going by feel right now because I want to get this done. So what do we got? We're at Jose Ramirez, strikeout and a walk so far. Let's see what he does this time. 51 is an 8. That could be trouble if Hugh Darvish against the lefty, again, 25 or less, he'll get him out. And it's a 26, so just outside the reach. And that's going to be a single in the left center field. So hit by Jose Ramirez. Steal of 22, not very good. Yan Gomes, not very good at bunting or hit and running, so we're just going to let him swing. Of course, we have the runner on first chart now. 61, 36. Runner at first, 36. Possible wild pitch. We got to look and see, is it a wild pitch of 0? Hugh Darvish is a wild pitch of 3. So it will be a wild pitch, runner to second. So Ramirez goes to second on the wild pitch by Darvish. So it gives Yan Gomes another swing at it here. So runner at second now. Runner at second. 24 is a 13. Strikeout. Let's just make sure here. So it's a strikeout, unless he's a K1, which he's not. Out of if it's not a K1, third strike gets past the character. Check for. Okay, so this one is a little bit, you can see here if we look at our runner at second chart and we got a 13, it's quite a big section here. So a lot can possibly happen on this. So it's a straight strikeout unless you have a K1. If you have a K1, then it's out at first on a 5-3 put out. If there's 2 outs, then it will be a strikeout. If it's not a K1, the third strike gets past the catcher. Check the catcher for an error. If there's an error, then the strikeout. Batter gets to first on the error. Runner goes on second, holds. Unless they're a good runner, then they'll take third. If not an error, strikeout. The batter out at first, catcher to first baseman, runner holds, and second. So a lot can happen in this one. I'm just not sure when you use the not K1 result. I'm assuming that means if you're a K but not a 1. I'm going to put it down as a strikeout because I'm not 100% sure. I might ask the designer developer about this. So that was runner on second, and a 13 result. And he will explain that, so we'll figure that one out. So that brings up Tyler Nyquin versus Hugh Darvish. We have runner on second, still 2 outs now. Tyler Nyquin, runner on second. And it's a 36. 36 is a 33. 3-3. Out at first. Runner moves to third. It's going to be a pop-up to the first baseman. Unless against left-handers, he's a K6. So that will be a strikeout. Actually, Hugh Darvish will get the strikeout instead of the pop-up. And it is 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. And we have got a 4-3 ball game, Texas. So Corey Kluber will come out and pitch the bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Napoli 0 for 2 on the day. 65 is a 35. Again, we're back to bases empty, 35. And unless he's a W3, W4 he's not, it's going to be a right-hander is going to pop up to first. So P3 for Napoli. Rugged Odor. I'm going to try and speed things up so we can get through these last few innings, guys. Rugged Odor struck out twice so far. Can he get the trifecta? 24. 24 is a 13, and he does get the trifecta. 3 strikeouts for Rugged Odor. Not so rugged today as he's whiffing at everything. Jonathan Lucroy, 1 for 2 on the day. Oh, 6-6. That's going to be a hit. Jonathan Lucroy with the hit. Let's find out what kind of hit it is. Second column, 2-6. 2-6 second column is a 6. That is going to be a double by Jonathan Lucroy. A 2-out double by Lucroy. Joey Gallo. 36 is a 13. That's going to be a strikeout. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We go to 7, still 4-3, Texas. Brings up Yanni Diaz. Yanni and Yu going at it today. Each one of them has, actually Hugh's been winning that matchup as Yanni is 0 for 2 on the day. 2 fly balls for Yanni. 63 is a 27, bases empty, 27. K result against the right-hander is a K5. That will be a strikeout. So Yu Darvish getting stronger as the game goes on. More strikeouts in the late inning, the later innings than the starting innings. Abraham Almonte 0 for 2. 45 is a 14. That might be a walk, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. 14. Unless he's a Z3 or Z4, he is not. That will be a one-out walk by Almonte. Now, he's at 26. You subtract 2, so it'll be down to 24. Probably about a 1/3 chance, so not worth risking at this point. There is one out, top of the lineup, and you know what we're doing? We're going to try the hit and run again. Cleveland going to try and get aggressive, get that runner moving. So Carlos Santana, he's an HR2, so we're going to roll on the HR2 column, and we're going to get the runner on first, hit and run board out for you guys. If I can find it. It's probably right here somewhere. Nope. Hang on a second. I put it back in the wrong spot. Shame on me. There we go. No, that's bunt for hit. Sorry. Still, I think I put it back in the wrong spot. Sacrifice, squeeze, play. Where did I do with it? I put it on the bottom. I should not do that because it needs to be in proper order or I'll get messed up. So runner on first, hit and run attempt here by Carlos Santana. He's only a 2, but we're going to take a chance at it. Obviously, if you had an HR3 or 4 or 5, 5s are the best, but only do what we can do. 54 is a 17. Hit and run 17 out at first. Runner moves to second. 4-3. So it's going to be a 4-3 put out, but the runner moves to second on the play. So not the best of results, but they did keep out of the double play at least. So you can say something about that, I guess. So runner in scoring position now for Francisco Lindor. 1 for 3 with the big home run in the 3rd inning. Francisco Lindor waits, and here it comes. Yu Darvish, 34. That's a 31, and we're back to runner on second chart. And that is a 31. It's going to be a fly out to center, and that's going to do it. F8. So 1 hit, no hits, no runs, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time, my friends out there. Be sure to stretch. Be sure to stretch. Let's see, that's 9, 18, 27, 20, 29. So 29 batters so far for Yu Darvish. Let's actually look at what kind of rating we are looking at here for these pitchers. Let's just take a quick time out here as we go to the website and see if I can find the proper. We got the player cards. We got the stamina ratings. Here is what we need, and we need to check out the junior circuit here. I will actually show this to you guys first, so you guys can see here. So if you're looking for the stamina rating and such, let's bring up our desktop here so you all can see this. So obviously, www.ntlpt.com. You go to the combined pitcher rating and stamina ratings and obviously download the proper file. It's a senior circuit is National League. Junior circuit is American League. So we can actually go to the American League and check out what we're doing here. So Yu Darvish is Texas. Yu Darvish, Texas. So he's got a stamina of 26. So basically that means he should face 26 pitchers and then probably be pulled. He is now gone 9, 18, 27, 28, 29. So his day is going to be done. So in the bottom of the 7th, let's look at Kluber as well here for Cleveland. Cleveland, where are you? Cleveland, there you are. All right, so Cleveland, Corey Kluber is a 27 as well. He's faced 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 pitchers, batters, I'm sorry. He's faced 25 so far. He has got a 27. So Corey Kluber is a 27. I'm just going to put his rating down on that card so we know that. He's a 27. I wish those stats would actually come on there, but that's okay. Hugh Darvish was a, God, what was he? God, should have wrote his down. I apologize. What are we doing? Texas. Hugh Darvish. He's a 26. So I'm going to write his down. So both pitchers are going to be pulled here going forward. So Corey Kluber, he's out. He's out. And who are we going to be bringing in? Let's see. For the Cleveland Indians, Dan Otero. Looks like, let's see. We have a righty, a switch hitter, and then a righty coming up. All right. So obviously, we got a righty, a lefty, and a righty. And it looks like Dan Otero is coming in here to pitch the 7th for Cleveland Indians. So Corey Kluber, your day is done. And second relief pitcher will be Dan Otero. Otero. He is a +1. +1 for Lucor, so it's a total of +2 to steal on this combo. And that's going to mark it done for Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber goes 6 innings. Gives up 4 runs. And was any of them a home run? No, none of them were home runs. I'm sorry, how many hits did he give up? He actually gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. No home runs. He gave up 4 runs. All of them, I believe, were earned. Walks. He gave up 1 walk. Only 1 walk. Very nice. And how many strikeouts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strikeouts. The 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. 6 innings, give up 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. Corey Kluber, not bad, not bad. All right, let's get back to the game or get through these last couple innings. I've got to go, so we're going to try and cruise through these last couple innings. So due up is going to be Dan Otero versus Alvis Andurez. Texas up 4-3, bottom of 7, 64. 13 is a strikeout unless he's got a K1 result. He does not, so it's a strikeout. That brings up Jurickson Profar, 1 for 2 on the day. 42, that's a 20, 42 is a 28. So 28 is going to be out at first, short, unless he's a K6 through 9. He's not. So it will be a 6-3 putout. So Antero doing his job comes in, get the first 2. Carlos Gomez double in the 3rd, so 1 for 3 on the day. He's a 24. That is a 13. So 2 strikeouts in the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Dan Antero. So Hugh Darvish, as I mentioned, he will also be out. For Cleveland, coming up is a lefty, a righty, and a switch hitter. So with the lefty coming up, the lefty comes out of the pen. If you're going to use it, you might as well use them now. Alex Claudio comes in to relieve Corey Kluber. I'm sorry, Yu Darvish, actually. I wrote that guy on the wrong damn side. Alex, Claudio. He's a 0. Luke Roy is a, I'm sorry, Yan Gomes is a +4. No, it's Luke Roy. Luke Roy +1. Claudio is a 0, so it's a +1 to steal on them. Dan Otero actually should be up here because I messed that up. Damn, sorry about that, guys. I should have wrote him up here on Cleveland because he plays for Cleveland, you know. I'm just saying, you might know that. All right, so we're in the top of the 8th, 4-3 Texas. Can they hold on here as Alex Claudio comes out to face off against Michael Brantley? He is a 65 versus left-handers, so if it comes down to the pitcher, he will get him out 95% of the time. That's a 21. This one is a 32. 32 is going to be a... He doesn't have a high enough K value, so it will be a pop-up to right. So an F9 for Brantley. Now against against right-handers, Claudio not as good. And they have a righty, a switch hitter, and a righty coming up, and then a lefty. So do they pull Claudio after one? I think they might because now they're going to let him pitch against Edward, see what he can do. 36 is a 13. Well, that's not a bad result, as that is a strikeout unless he's a K1. He is not a K1. So strikes out Edward. Edward with a bad day, 0 for 4. Not a good way to start off the season. Jose Ramirez is 1 for 2 with a walk as well. Jose Ramirez, 2 outs in the 8th. That's a 26. That's a 45. That's going to be out at first. No, it's going to be a fly out because there's 2 outs. It's going to be a pop-up to right field, F9. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th as Alex Claudio comes in, does his job, and Dan Otero pitched an inning. Of course, we could check on Dan Otero's. Let's check on him real quick just to see how long he should be Cleveland. Dan Otero is a stamina of 5 as a relief pitcher. So he's faced 1, 2, 3. So he's going to stay in and face off against Sinso Chu. And I can't see the chat because I've switched out of that. There we go. Hey, Bob. How you doing, my friend? Sorry, I was on the wrong page. I didn't see your chat. Hey, ID, if you're using a season that has not been updated with base stealing ratings, is there any way to make your own base stealing decisions, or are you forced to use the decisions built into the game? You know, you could just card your own players based upon how you think their chance of stealing would be, but it would probably just be worst case scenario. You know, because you also need to figure out the pitcher hold rating. You also need to figure out the catcher throw rating. So it could skew your results. If that's not a big deal for you, you know, you can kind of know, you know, if it's a poor runner, you know, maybe they only have a 1 through 11 through 15 chance. If they're a normal runner, then maybe you could do like 21 to 26. You know, based on your, you know, how many stolen bases they had throughout the season. If they were a good runner, I'd card them maybe as like 31 to 36. Again, I wouldn't. I would just use the built-in. I know that I talked to the designer. He is going to be updating a lot of things in 2019. And hopefully he'll continue updating the sheets for the base stealing. Now, that was just something he added in November of 2017. So it's only been, you know, a year since this has been added to the system. And he's got, what, about 20 seasons done. So, you know, yes, the guy is planning on updating the seasons. Absolutely. He is going to, he's going to be updating the seasons. He'll be adding more seasons that'll have them. But, you know, going through, you got to go back and you got to edit every single player for that whole season, right? So that's a lot of work to go through and figure out, you know, what each of the ratings are going to be. But yeah, I would just use the built-in if it's not calculated in. If you don't want to use the built-in, then just kind of just say, okay, well, this guy had 0 stolen bases, so his chance of stealing will be at 12. This guy had 12 stolen bases, so he's probably about a 26 or maybe a 32 or 33 or 34, you know, something like that. But again, that could skew your results off. I would just wait on the developer. If there's a specific season you're looking at, let me know and I can email that to the designer and say, hey, I don't know if you're working on this, but you know, I've got somebody that might be interested in this season. If you can, you know, try and get that done sometime in this, you know, in 2019, that would be great. So just let me know. Oh, it looks like we're dropping some frame rates again. But anyways, we're in the bottom of the 8th. 4-3 Texas over Cleveland. Great game so far. Dan Otero is going to come in and pitch 61 against Sinso Chu. Sinso Chu walked, struck out. 61 is a 40, bases empty. This time, we're going to be checking on an error on the third baseman. Third baseman for Cleveland, Yanni Diaz. He's a 16 R1. 16 R1. That's a 53, and so that is not an error. That's going to be an out. It's a high infield fly. The pitcher clears out. The third baseman takes it. Unless you have a W1, W2, W3, or W4, it'd be a walk. He's not a walker, so that is going to be a pop-up, high infield pop-up to third base. So a P5 for Sinso Chu. Nomar Mazzaro, 1 for 3 on the day for Mazzaro. 54 is a 32. Again, a 32 is going to be, what's his K rating? Not high enough. So it's going to be a pop-up to right. That's going to be an F9. And Mike Napoli, 0 for 3 on the day. He actually has 2 pop-ups to first base on his card so far. Mike Napoli, 31. That's a 45, and that's going to do it. It's a fly out to right for the 8th inning. Go to the 9th, and coming in to pitch for the Texas Rangers. Coming up to the plate will be Yan Gomes, Tyler Nyquin, and Yanni Diaz. That'll be a righty, a lefty, and a righty. So we're definitely taking the lefty out, and coming in to try and close this one out will be Matt Bush. Matt Bush is coming in the 9th. He had more saves than the other guy, so he has 10 saves on the season. He's a -2. Jonathan Lucroy is a +1, so that is going to be a -1 to steal attempts against Matt Bush. He's coming in the 9th to try to save this one for Texas. Yan Gomes. Cleveland did not actually substitute any players, so I'm not going to be pulling any of the players. So it's going to be up to Gomes, Tyler Nyquin, and Yanni Diaz to try and get something here. Bob says, yeah, I can't stand having the game make these decisions. Okay, thanks, Alfredo. Okay. All right, well, let me know what season you're looking at, man, and I can see about having them help you out. Yan Gomes versus Matt Bush, top of 9, 4-3 Texas. Can Matt Bush close this one out? 25 is a 9, bases empty 9, and that's going to be right off the bat a check on Matt Bush. Against right-handers, he's a 25 or less will be an out. Otherwise, it'll be a single over short. It's a 46. Yan Gomes with the single to start things off, and Cleveland is not dead yet. They are not dead yet. That brings up Tyler Nyquin, who is terrible at bunting, terrible at hit and running. And Jan Gomes is a poor runner. Terrible bunter. Cleveland is going to just let him swing away against Matt Bush. He is a left-hander, so Matt Bush only a 12 or less will get him out. So Tyler Nyquin, he's just going to swing away. One on, no one out. Can Cleveland make the comeback? 64, almost. 13, though. That is going to be a strikeout unless against the lefty he does not have the K1 result. So that will be a strikeout. So one out. Now back to the right-handers, Yanni Diaz. Runner on first. Diaz again, terrible bunter, terrible hit and run. They're just going to let Yanni Diaz swing and hope and pray. 43 is a 29. Runner in first, 29. Out at first, out at second. A runner 2 seconds, sorry, unless he's a K3. Diaz is a right-hander versus right-handers. He's a K5, so that will actually be a strikeout. So Matt Bush with another strikeout. 2 strikeouts now. That brings up Abraham Almonte. Last hope for the Indians. He's a great bunter, but with 2 outs, you can't have him bunt. He's a bunt of 5. He would have been perfect to have up earlier. Unfortunately, runner on first, 2 away. Strikeout, strikeout. Nyquin Diaz. Can Bush get Almonte to end this game? Let's find out. 54 is a 32. 32 is going to be runner at first, a fly out to right field, and that's going to do it. F9, and Bush comes in and does it. Closes out the Indians. No hits. I'm sorry, 1 hit, no runs, no errors. And that's going to do it. Cleveland with 3 runs. Total hits are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. And I don't think we did have an error. Who was the error on? The error. Where was the error? It was an E result. Did we not have an error? I could have sworn we had an error. I don't see an error listed anywhere, so maybe we did not have an error. I normally write down the E result, so it looks like 3 runs and 8 hits, no errors for Cleveland. Texas, 4 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 hits, no errors. So your final stat line here from Texas. Cleveland Indians fall 3-4, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Texas Rangers go to 1-0 as they get 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. All 4 runs coming in the 4th inning. 4th inning was a single by Mazzaro, then a pop-up to first by Napoli, a strikeout by Ruggedador, then Lucroy with a single, Joey Gallo with a single, Elvis Anduras with the double driving in 2, and then Profar with the single driving in another run. All 4 runs for Texas against Corey Kluber. And that's going to do it, guys, as I've got to run. I appreciate everyone stopping out. We will be back on later on with another game from the 2017 season. This one, once again, the Cleveland Indians fall to the Texas Rangers 4-3. I appreciate everyone coming by. Southpaw, Retro Sports Network, Bob, 3 great gentlemen. Love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys showing up. And everyone else that came by, I appreciate it as well. We'll see you later this afternoon with another game of National Pastime Next Generation Plus, the game to be determined. We'll see you then.